Thinking about closing shop with your LLC? Well, it's not as scary as it sounds. Today, we're breaking down 3 simple ways to dissolve your LLC. Whether you're going solo or getting some help, I've got you covered. By the end of this video, you will see it's not as complicated as you might think. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. There's a lot of paperwork, legal stuff, and you're not sure where to start. Those are the big 3 fears most people have when it comes to closing their LLC. But don't worry, we're going to tackle each of these fears head on with some easy solutions. Throughout this video, we'll walk you through the process step by step. We'll talk about the paperwork, the legal obligations, and give you a clear starting point. And here's a little hint. Reviewing your company formation documents is going to be pretty important. But don't worry, we'll get to that in just a second. For now, let's dive into your first option for dissolving your LLC. Now, before we move on, please know that I earn a small commission if you choose to shop through my affiliate links in the description of this video. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it helps me support my channel. So let's get started. Now, did you know that there is a way to dissolve your LLC without spending a fortune on lawyers? It's true, and it might be easier than you think. Let me show you. Welcome to the world of DIY LLC dissolution. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. DIY and legal stuff don't usually go hand in hand, but trust me, it's not as complicated as it sounds. In fact, in some states, dissolving your LLC could cost you less than a trip to the movies. Let's break it down into 7 simple steps. First things first, you'll want to dust off those formation documents and operating agreements. These are like the blueprint of your LLC, and they'll guide you through the dissolution process. Take a good look at them. They might have specific instructions on how to close up shop. Next up, it's time to spread the word. You'll need to notify all your stakeholders. That's your partners, employees, and anyone else who has a stake in your business. It's like sending out invitations, but instead of a party, you're inviting them to say goodbye to the LLC. Now, here's where it gets real. Settling debts. Before you can officially dissolve your LLC, you'll need to pay off any outstanding bills or obligations. It's like cleaning out your closet before you move. You want to start fresh. Once you've got all that sorted, it's time for the paperwork. I know. Paperwork isn't exactly exciting, but here is the good news. It's often simpler than you would expect. For example, in Colorado, the fee to dissolve an LLC is only $10. That's right, just $10. You could dissolve your LLC for less than the cost of lunch. Now, after you file the necessary paperwork with the state, you're almost done. But how do you know if it's really official? Well, most states have an entity search function on their website. You can use this to check for an articles of dissolution event. It's like getting a receipt for your dissolution. Next, you need to cancel any business licenses or permits your LLC has. This ensures you won't be liable for any future fees or obligations. Then, it's time to liquidate any assets. Whether it's equipment, property, or inventory, you'll want to sell off what's left and convert it into cash. Finally, you can distribute the remaining funds. After all debts are settled, distribute whatever's left to the owners based on your LLC's operating agreements. So there you have it, a step-by-step guide to DIY LLC dissolution. It's affordable, with state fees typically ranging from $10 to $100 depending on where you live. And the best part, you now have a clear roadmap to follow. No more worrying about where to start or what to do next. Now, you might be thinking, great, I can handle this on my own, but hold on a second. Did you know that certain LLC structures can make dissolution a legal minefield? Let's discuss when you might need expert help to handle these challenges. Now, while DIY dissolution works for many LLCs, there are situations where professional legal help becomes necessary. As one expert puts it, there are instances where you may want to hire an attorney to dissolve your LLC. Typically, that happens when there is a lot of complexity around your LLC. So, what kind of complexity are we talking about? Well, imagine you're not the sole owner of your LLC. Maybe you've got multiple partners or a complex ownership structure. In these cases, dissolving the LLC isn't just about you anymore. It's about making sure everyone's interests are protected and that the dissolution process is fair for all parties involved. Now, another scenario where you might want to consider legal assistance is if your LLC has significant outstanding debts or legal issues. Think of it like trying to untangle a really big knot. Sometimes you need an expert to help you figure out where to start and how to proceed without making things worse. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hiring an attorney sounds expensive, right? And yes, it can be. But here's the thing. In these complex situations, having professional help can actually save you money in the long run. How? By ensuring that all legal obligations are met and that the dissolution process is handled correctly from the start. Let's talk about your LLC's operating agreement for a second. Remember how we mentioned reviewing your formation documents earlier? Well, if your operating agreement includes specific dissolution procedures, an attorney can be incredibly helpful. They can interpret these clauses and guide you through compliance, making sure you're not missing any important steps. Alright, so we've talked about going solo and calling in the pros, but what if I told you there's a secret weapon that combines DIY simplicity with professional guidance? Enter professional services like Northwest Registered Agents. Not only do they make the whole process of forming your LLC or corporation easy, but they also have your back when it's time to dissolve it. If you're thinking about closing up shop, they offer a free, comprehensive guide on their website that walks you through every step of dissolving your business. It's packed with everything you need to know, from filing the right paperwork to handling taxes, all in one place. So whether you're starting up or winding down, Northwest Registered Agents has you covered. Check out their guide and save yourself a ton of time and hassle. And let's talk about time. We all know time is money, especially when you're running a business. Using a service like Northwest Registered Agents can save you hours of research and paperwork. Instead of poring over documents and state websites, you can focus on wrapping up your business operations or planning your next venture. Remember how we talked about the fear of complex paperwork earlier? Well, services like Northwest Registered Agents are designed to tackle that head on. They simplify the whole process for you. You don't need to be an expert or a paperwork wizard. They'll guide you through each step, making sure you understand what's happening without getting bogged down in the details. All right, let's recap what we've covered. We've looked at 3 ways to dissolve your LLC: doing it yourself, getting legal help, or using a professional service. Each option has its pros and cons, and the best choice depends on your specific situation. Take a moment to think about your LLC. Is it pretty straightforward, or are there complex issues to sort out? Do you have the time to handle the paperwork yourself, or would you rather have someone else take care of it? Your answers will guide you to the best solution. Now, if you're looking for a hassle-free option that won't break the bank, I recommend checking out Northwest Registered Agents that offer professional support. You can find a link to their services in the video description. Remember, dissolving your LLC doesn't have to be stressful. With the right approach, you can close this chapter of your business journey smoothly and confidently. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.